I guess I'm still doing the intro. This is weird. Hello guys.
Your show, kiddo.
Yeah, seriously. We are back with another Drive Time special edition with me and Scooter, and then the order it also goes Matty Ice, who's actually a guest on his own show. Weird, right?
Yeah, this is just a special late night appearance for me because it's 11 p.m. here coming to you live from Salzburg, Austria.
He just had so much he had to talk about, and obviously we will get into it. I guess we should start into it, but let's see here. So look in the rearview mirror. We are going to start off with baseball because somebody has to go to sleep. A lot happened. But we are finally into the playoffs, which start tomorrow. So obviously someone wanted to chat about that because a certain team is in it. Let's go into it. Baseball playoffs. So start tomorrow. First game on the clock, 1:08 p.m. is Detroit versus Cleveland. The one and
Scooter,
only.
you can go first.
What?
Let Scooter go first.
Oh, yeah, because, you got to, Detroit and Cleveland. How great is that, man? How great is that? Cleveland. Woo! Is everyone a Guardian fan now? Because that was just unbelievable. But that's all I got to say about that. Whatever, if they lose, they lose all the games, you should all still be happy in Cleveland. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll be happy no matter what happens. Of course, sure we'll want to. That's probably a lie. I'll be mad for a little bit, but they still have to face Tarek Skubal first game. But the ride has been incredible. Whatever, it ended up being 18-2 for a stretch there in September. Their starting pitching hadn't given up, more than 2 runs. But it goes earlier. The adversity that this team dealt with. If you think about it. In May, they lose Ben Lively, who, not the greatest of pitchers, but last year he was a big reason why they got to where they did. They lose him to Tommy John surgery. Then you lose Luis Ortiz to the first betting scandal. Then, they're struggling. They lose 10 games in a row. In the middle of that, they're talking about trying to trade Clase and Kwan at the deadline because, they're 6 games under 500 at the 90-game mark. And then Clase gets suspended. So now that trade is off the table. They still are trying to trade Quan. They trade away Shane Bieber. Basically, I think really everyone kind of left them for dead. And then they turn around and just go on this incredible run. Now, granted, the schedule got a little bit easier. But if you guys remember, whatever it was, I said, remember, Cleveland still has 6 games with Detroit. And if they were in striking distance, to look out. And here they were, they sweep in Detroit. They come back home. They take the 2 out of 3. They take 2 out of 3 from Texas, and they did the sweeps in between. It's just, and then, like even yesterday, they didn't, Detroit already lost. They gave up 3 runs in the 10th inning. And then Rocchio hits a 3-run homer in the bottom 10th. So they win the division on the field. The game before that, it's a walk-off hit by pitch. The first time that has ever happened in the live ball era of Major League Baseball, where a team clinches a playoff spot on a hit by pitch. It's just a total guard's way to win. They're just, it's Steve Kwan, Jose Ramirez, and somehow they've glued together enough hits at the right time. But the starting pitching is the deal. And so it's going to be Gavin Williams against Skubal in game 1. You got to remember, these are all 3-game series only. They do not switch.
I think it's Austria.
Whoever slow down.
Oh no. Oh no.
The curse of Arnold Schwarzenegger. But he was making a good point. And,
He's making a great point.
He was making a great point. And then we censored him. Hey, I'm not in charge of this. Showtime's in charge of this, so don't blame me.
I can't help that. That's its own. I think that's. I would admit if it was my Wi-Fi, which it probably is in some parts, but I think he's literally just like gone. He'll come back, I'm sure, maybe. I will point out that he's sounding very hopeful, but this is a text that I got 2 days ago. in the group chat, Cleveland baseball going to find a new way to rip joy out of their fans' heart. We would erase the biggest deficit in MLB history just to then throw it all away the last 4 games. They will break our hearts before October this year. And I already knew what it was. I said, warning, this is one of his reverse karma messages. And he says, that has never worked with Cleveland baseball. This is just reality setting in. And like I said, it is one of his reverse karma messages because what he was complaining about didn't even happen because they still made the playoffs. Yes, crazy. But
And we talked about that the past 2 weeks, at least you and I, the past 2 weeks, about how Cleveland kept being 9-1 the past 10 games,
mhm.
and to the
Yeah,
point
no, they're on a
where
crazy win streak. No, like I love, obviously love Father, but his reverse karma really really gets it going sometimes.
or it's just the most negative Homer fan ever there. So I'll give him that.
Super negative,
There he
but
is.
the second they win something, he's back on the train.
It's all a plan. It's all a
I
plan.
know.
Whenever I
I'm
do this
aware
stuff,
of your
there's a
plan.
reason of why I do and it works
Yeah, I'm
sometimes.
I'm fully aware, but I have to call it out half the time because it really gives off
Worst fan.
not great feelings, and then you're just it's giving bipolar. You are a bipolar sports fan.
Yeah.
You hate
But
when they fail, but you love when they succeed, which is
when you're a
everybody.
Raiders
But
fan and these things happen to you, you just expect the worst.
Well, let's just say like Ohio State, it could be like 5 minutes into a game, and let's say they're losing 3-0 to Maine, the University of Maine. That's it. Maddie's definitely like game over.
Oh,
Maine's
I
gonna
love doing it.
win 40-0. And
I
then of
mostly
course
like doing it because I like Ohio State fans get a little too serious at times. So half the time, that's just have fun with Ohio State fans because
No, I
I
like that.
cheer for them, but
Yeah.
it's whenever Kent State plays Ohio State, I'll root for Kent State, even though they're going to lose by 80 next year when that happens. So that's a whole
what
different
he
story.
doesn't
But
have
anyway,
to be serious about is Kent State football.
oh yeah. Well, I'll let you guys get into that later. But I enjoyed watching them lose that game again. But so
We
sorry.
are.
Apparently, sometimes the connection from Austria can cut out on you. But so I gave my thoughts on the Guards. I mean,
Who would
I'd
have
love to see
thought?
them win the series. Can they win the series? Sure. Could
Mhm.
Detroit easily come back and win the series? Yeah. I mean, it's
Mhm.
best 2 out of 3. Anything can happen in these short series. But let's hope for the best for my Guards. I do also real quick though want to talk about them because a lot of people I think have thrown that the Tigers collapse, and yes, they had a 15.5 game lead. It's the largest division lead to lose, which is true. But I think a lot of that too was Cleveland played really damn good ball more than Detroit played really, really bad ball. The
Yeah.
team that I think gets the bigger collapse, honestly, is the Mets. The payroll, how much they make, the fact
Meet
that
the Grets.
I mean, Cincinnati got in the playoffs, but if you look at it, they've been 1, 2, 3, 4 games above 500, around that 500 mark all year. They really didn't get better. The Mets just fell apart, which I
Beat the
enjoyed.
Mets. Yeah, the Mets. We talked about that too. How they were blowing the lead.
Yeah.
Just kept a little farther, and that's it. All of a sudden, it's like, end of Sunday, they're out of the playoffs. So they didn't make it.
I'm happy for Tito, because if you remember at the beginning of the year, I said Cincinnati would be one of the teams to watch for because of Tito, and I called Toronto being a team to watch for, and they ended up winning that division. So, of course, and a lot of Cleveland fans are upset because we got the 1:00 start. But let's be honest, the other 3 teams are the Cubs that have a home game, the New York Yankees who are at home, and the LA Dodgers. Like Cleveland was going to be in the 1:00 spot. Like we just were,
And it's Yankees Red Sox, so that's like
that's
ratings galore.
Exactly. So you knew that was what was going to happen, for Cleveland. And look, I get it. If you're a Cleveland fan and you wanted to go to a game and not have to take off work, you can't do that now. So the 1:00 games on a weekday suck for sure. It'll be interesting to see, like the games will be sold out, but I expect it to be a late arriving crowd because parking in downtown Cleveland sucks at 1:00 in the afternoon because you still got people working. So it'll be interesting what the crowd looks like for the 2 games, but these the last week was insane watching that video. So I had to give my Cleveland love. We'll see how this goes. If you, for the Sideline Junkie fans out there, there is the Midnight Rider set up the pool. So I've got my heart predictions, which is Milwaukee against Cleveland, and then I have what I think is going to happen, which is sadly would be the rematch between the Yankees and Dodgers. But I hope I'm wrong. And now Scooter went out.
I'm losing everybody today. Oh my gosh, Scooter's gone. The series, I would see it as, I think I need to look at like the regular season matchup, because obviously I remember us losing the series to Detroit because I was there. And then also we have recently swept them, I think.
We won the season series because we had the
tiebreaker.
I think it ended up being 7-5. We won 7. They won 5 for the whole year.
So yeah, I mean, if you think about it that way, we do have a good. It's just going to be very back and forth. Like it's probably going to go to game 3, some shape or form. So I would definitely say game 3. I couldn't tell you who's going to win though. Obviously, I'm biased against who I want to win. Which is probably kind of how the entire first round is going for me. Well, yeah, but I don't hate Detroit, like obviously, but. And I think like their little success story, like it was great, but now they're playing us in the first round, so I have to like kind of like get off that bus. Are you staying for the rest of the baseball playoffs, or is that the only one you wanted?
Go for a little bit. I'll go for a little bit longer. I'll stay until like 11:20, then I'll bow out.
All right,
so you got me for 7 more minutes.
Okay. All right. So let's go into the second game then, starting at 3:08. We got. Hold on. No, it's
that's
San Diego versus Chicago.
Cubs. This is going to be a fun series. I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be in Chicago, so I think that helps the Cubbies. I don't know where the series is going to go. I think I took the Cubs to win in both of them just because they're at home. I think if this was in San Diego, I would take San Diego. They're pretty evenly matched teams. Crow Armstrong is great for the Cubs. Of course, you got Machado and Gang out and Tatis out in San Diego. So and San Diego's sometimes has had a hard time winning a series or two in the playoffs. So, but this the first time for this group of Cubbies to be in there. So we'll see how this one goes. But this is one of the ones I'm definitely looking forward to. I think it's going to be a fun series between these two teams.
Yeah, that's a series that can go all 3, huh?
I think so.
Late inning games too, maybe. So
yeah,
good thing this game's at 3. Stay up for God's sake.
Right.
I think obviously the Cubs' home advantage it is obviously something to look to, but I don't know. I kind of see the Padres winning this.
I can go with that.
Just a small hunch that I have. Scooter, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I get exactly what you're saying, but I'm going to go if I believe everything what you were saying there, Matt, is that it's in Chicago. That's going to be a pretty good home field advantage there, and I just don't see. I just see the Cubs winning 2 out of 3. That's just how I see it.
Yep, agree.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Like maybe because I like the Padres a little bit more than the Cubs. Although again, like the Cubs have also had a very good story. I don't think I would hate anybody like coming out of that. Like I think it would be a very like I'm okay with whoever wins that. That's fine. What I'm not okay with happening is the Yankees playing in the playoffs against Boston, and I'm not gonna hide it. I want Boston to win. I will commit every single manifestation or witchcraft. I will do anything, any spell to not have the Yankees win this. Because
you're not gonna make KG happy then.
I don't care at this point. My hatred for the Yankees is very well known, and I'm going to put it even in this counter because
say hate. I was going to say I think I just heard hate.
Yes, no, here,
Mark
hold on.
it.
I got this.
Mark it.
I'm
Push
adding
the
extra
button.
zeros to it because I will restate it every single time. The Yankees, no, absolutely not. And the thing is, I can't be too cocky with it because we're probably going to find a way to lose to them anyways, Guardians wise, because that seems to be a little curse that we have going on. I don't really know, but Yankees get swept. That's my prediction. I'm not explaining it any farther than I need to. That's that's what I got.
10 million? 10 million hates right there. 10 million hates.
I think so. Just about.
That's how much
Yeah, this is a tough series to decide who to root for, only because yes, you want the Yankees to lose, but then that means Boston wins. So that's equally bad in my view.
But do we play Boston afterwards? Because then
no, whoever wins our series plays Seattle. The winner of this one gets Toronto, because this is the 4-5, so the 4-5 plays the 1, and we play the 2 because at the 3-6. So we will play the winner of the Cleveland Detroit series plays Seattle.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's the good news. If we do get the Yankees, it won't be to the until the ALCS if that happens.
Wait,
but
so who does Boston New York play?
They get Toronto.
Oh, Toronto. Oh yeah, no. So I mean, they'll get taken out by Toronto anyway, so it's fine. But this is all a plan, okay, guys? Like, you have to understand this is a plan and it's going to work. I'm doing your whole thing. Maybe I need to just start talking good on the Yankees, but that will never happen. So
yeah, no, it shouldn't happen. I mean, look, the Yankees are the Yankees. Judge is likely going to be the MVP at the. As much as I'd love to see Cal Raleigh win the MVP, I think if you look at all the stats, it's going to be Aaron Judge, because I think you can make an argument that without Judge, the Yankees probably don't finish where they are. They probably still make the playoffs, but they wouldn't finish tied for the division lead. So Judge is going to win the AL MVP, and I'm okay with that. But the series is going to come down to the Yankees pitching, because they're going to be in the Bronx, and that bullpen has had some bad moments in that home stadium. And the second it starts going south for them, I could see it going south quickly. So I think the series is going to end in 2. It's just, I don't honestly know which team is going to win it in 2. It's either, I think if the Yankees bullpen gets them through it, they'll be fine and they'll win it. But if that Yankees bullpen gives up 1 in game 1, they're going to be in trouble, because it's going to start happening with that fan base. They'll turn on that bullpen again very, very quickly.
Boston in 2. Scooter, please.
Yeah, I think this is tough because both teams, they nearly identical records. These are good teams, and going into the Bronx, that's not a place that like the Red Sox are afraid to go to.
Nope.
I mean, they can go in there and win. They can take 2 in a row. Very simple and easily, especially with what you're saying. I don't know. I think the Yankees fans, it's not going to be them so much getting on the case of relievers. I think it's going to be more the media, the attention that's going to be placed upon them. But I can see the Red Sox going in there winning 2.
Thank you.
I don't want that, but I can see that.
I don't care. I don't want the Yankees to win. This matters.
I'd like the Yankees to win. I don't. I despise the Red Sox.
Look, this is like
more than any team.
This is like when I'm trying to think of like a good
with the fan,
like other sports team that play each other where you don't want anybody to win, but it's not coming to my head right now.
And Helen always says root for injuries, right? That's the same. Yeah.
Root for a meteor. Root for like no. Okay, cool. I'm glad we all that we all agree that Boston's in 2. Okay, cool. Moving on. Last game we got the Dodgers versus the Reds. What do we think? Whoever wants to go first, fight for it. Rock, paper, scissors. I don't care.
I'm below you, so I guess I'll go. This is not going to be a series, unfortunately. I'd love to see Tito and the Reds give the Dodgers a run, but I think the Reds were just happy to make it team of the group, and I still think LA, like I've been saying this for months, I think LA was just basically just messing around for these last 2 months. They've got the pitching staff finally set up. They're not going to lose to the Reds. I don't know the Dodgers will repeat, but they are not losing a 2-game series to the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree with that. I mean, from Roberts to all the players, they bring the heat, they bring professionalism to that, and they just know how to win. So I see probably 2 games, right? That's how I see it too. And Sarah's boycotting this one.
I guess so. She just left her own show. I tell you, jeez. So while she does that, I'm going to do a quick ramble. Rocco gets fired today from the Twins, which is funny to me because I thought he might not make it through this whole entire season. Then they give him the extension, and now they fire him. I have no love. Look, I've seen a lot of Rocco manage these Minnesota teams, and Minnesota's had some decent teams over these years. Offensively, the pitching staff has always been kind of where they've always hit, and his pitching moves have been suspects. So this move doesn't surprise me. I'm sure somebody will hire him again because the analytics like what Rocco does, so he'll get a job somewhere. I'm sure. And San Francisco fired Bob Melvin. This just seems like Buster Posey wants to put his stamp on the team and hire his guy. So I get that one. I'm not that upset with that one. The Rocco move was a long time coming from Minnesota. It'll be interesting to see who they go after. I don't know. We'll see. These are just the first 2 firings on the board. I'm sure there'll be a couple more here as things continue to move along. The Mets, I think, announced that they're bringing their guy back, which is a little surprising. I thought that he might go too with that collapse, but he's coming back surprisingly so. So we'll see what happens there. And in Houston, if Houston makes a move, I've heard some rumblings that they may make a move too. So just the first 2 blocks to go, but Rocco finally gone from Minnesota. I think that's a long time coming for them.
Yeah, I think when you get, what is this, his 7th, 8th year, something like that? He had that great first year, like 100+ wins. That was unbelievable. And it's hard to match that every year. But you get to the point where, all right, it's kind of, well, he's a really good professional. He does have a good reputation out there amongst owners and the media. Players seem to really like him. And that's the same thing with Bob Melvin too. So don't take that the wrong way about Bob Melvin. And but it gets to the point where what have you really done? Like, I didn't understand the extension first of all.
Yeah,
just let the year run out. And if they let we wouldn't be talking about the stupid,
Yeah.
That, but you get to the point where it's time to move on. Like, let's get someone else in. They need to they need to have a manager that's going to a little more backbone. Little more fire. Maybe steal a few more bases, that kind of thing, like that. Instead of just typical, we're just gonna, we'll win games 3-2, that kind of thing, like that. Hopefully, but Bob Melvin, yeah, absolutely. Buster Posey, he's been there a year. That wasn't his guy. He didn't hire him. No one should be surprised at this move at all. Again, Melvin, the players love Melvin. I think both of those guys, Rocco and Melvin, will find another place. If it's not as the head manager, it could be the bench coach. So I think we definitely haven't heard the last one. However, Melvin's getting a little up there. I think he's like 66. Shouldn't matter though if you're good at what you do.
Somebody will hire him again, some way, shape, or form. He's a baseball guy. He'll be around.
Yeah.
Are you having fun there, Sarah? Going back and forth between playoffs update.
Obviously, we're talking about the playoffs, and then you just did the updates. So
well, because you were
went
five.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought a door closed, and there's nobody home right now. So obviously, that would cause some issues as to why a door is closing. So I was trying to make sure a cat wasn't closed. And I don't know what happened. So there's probably a ghost somewhere around here.
I was thinking Poltergeist myself. I was a big Joe Beth Williams fan, so
that's right.
But assuming you guys both went with LA, I will say
yes.
You kept saying it's a long time coming, and I know it was for separate reasons of the Minnesota Twins, but that is a Taylor Swift lyric to and the Heartbreak Prince, and the LA Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds is Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. The LA Dodgers are Miss Americana and the Reds are the Heartbreak Prince, because there's just no way that I think the Reds would win that series. I mean, it would be great to watch it. Don't get me wrong.
Agree.
Like, never say no way. Never say no way. But
no, I know. But like, there's like a 99.9.9 Wait,
So you're
no.
saying there's a chance.
Yeah,
Just like,
there's
hey,
a chance, but
that's about the
that's
same
all that
percentage
matters.
the Guardians had to win the division. It's on September 1st.
Oh
So
my God, here we
and
go, dude.
and with Tito,
Okay.
you just never know. Like
Okay.
you can't count out Tito.
Yep, you and your Tito bias.
Hey, I Tito, but Tito, I mean, he's won everywhere he's been. So if a manager can pull it off, it's going to be Tito. But I just don't think he's got the talent yet.
Not yet, no. Maybe like a year or two for sure.
Exactly.
No, I mean, with the Dodgers, I think with them winning the World Series, I'm just kind of like hoping somebody else takes them out, but it won't be the Reds. I don't know who it'll be, to be honest, but I will just, do my manifestation thing again, like maybe. But I don't hate the Dodgers, but it's a very weird, overpaid organization.
Milwaukee and Philly have the rosters that they could give them a run. It's just
that is true.
Yeah, Philly, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure. As long as it's not, well, I mean, technically, I'm happy that it was last year because they beat the Yankees. But as long as like the Yankees aren't in the World Series finale again, I'll be okay. Okay. Is that it? Wait. How long do you think you're staying up for tomorrow? You think you're staying up until the end of the San Diego Chicago game? How long do you think you got? Yeah.
Oh no, like
you're 6 hours ahead.
That's the good news for me. The guards are at 1:00, so they're at 8:00 here. So we should be able to see, watch, listen to most of that game. It'll be probably early for that because then we have a 7 a.m. train that we have to hit. So it's going to be just the guards game, and the rest I'll have to see what the scores were. I won't be staying up for any of the other ones. So
I think you could try to stay up for San Diego.
Maybe
that's
a little bit.
It would be 9:00.
I won't watch it. I'll probably be just flipping. I'll probably flip through and see what the
Just
score
go to
is.
sleep.
I'll probably about it.
Just go to sleep.
Sleep to
It
the
depends
audio
too
of
on
it.
where we go for dinner tomorrow night and all that good stuff too. So the more important things that we have to decide on is which Austrian food are we going to get tomorrow. So because we walked by a few of them tonight that we're like, oh, that smells good. That smells good. So
That's such a stupid flex. Stop. I don't. No.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's all good. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys do the drive to the net. But I do want to, I'm just going to, I know you guys are going to talk about both these things. And don't forget, October 6th, our big NHL show will be at 8 p.m. So we'll have a few more of the guys on for that. We'll get it. I'm sure you guys are going to talk about the Barkov injury, and that's just devastating for Florida. We'll dive into that a little bit more, or at least I'll dive into that a little bit more when we do our show. If you guys want to talk about the Fleury played a preseason game with Pittsburgh, it was awesome. I'm not sure that we're done seeing Fleury, by the way. I think somebody's going to make a call to him in January if they need a goalie, and it'll be interesting to see if he stays retired or not. But we'll see what happens on that. So good luck, guys, with the rest of the show, and we'll go from there. What Ben say? I can barely read it.
European trip, Matty Flex.
That's right. That's me. So, all right, you guys talk about the rest of that stuff. I'll let you guys get to it. And then we'll see you guys next week for the hockey show.
Bye-bye. You.
Sleep well, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we even dive into the drive to the net? He summed it
Get
up
out of
right.
here.
Do we even talk about it? No. Definitely will. So preseason is, I think, mostly under wraps. There might be a couple games left, but at least for, I believe, the Hurricanes, which obviously is the most important for me, is mostly wrapped up. Yeah, so some teams made a decision to try and play their star players for the preseason, which is an interesting move for sure. But it ended badly for the Florida Panthers because Alexander Barkov is now out for the season, and that is their captain. And just again, in general, like a great player. So what happens now? What do we think is going to happen to their season?
Well, if I have this all correct about the long-term IR with salary cap, they now have $18 million to spend for the rest of the season.
I hate that.
So, what to expect? Trades?
Wait, this is perfect because Anthony just came to the chat. Anthony,
Yeah.
talk to us.
Anthony.
Talk to us. What is going to happen to the Panther? Oh, there we go. I'm a Panther friend. Who do you guys think my Panthers trade for? Well, not to completely replace Alex, but to supplement what we lost. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. In a way, I almost want to say you're going to be fine without him, but I don't really necessarily know if that's 100% true. I really don't know. I know you talked about like a rumor, possibly you trying to trade for somebody, but I don't think we fact checked that yet. So if you think that's the guy, I can't remember the name. I'm so sorry, but if you think that's the guy, then maybe. But I couldn't tell you. I don't know how this is going to go now, to be honest.
It's right now. You got it. Like it hurts. It hurts immensely to lose a Barkov. I mean, he's the leader. He's the man. He's been there for a long time. They love themselves some Alex Barkov, some Alexander Sasha Barkov. But trade wise, I don't. You got to see where you are first. Yes, you'll have $18 million to play with now. That's off the board. Now I don't know how much more, but 18 million is a lot of money to spend when you're the two-time Stanley Cup champions for one season. So you could trade. Yeah, I don't. You could. I mean, Malkin. I don't know about that, but unless Pittsburgh wants to do something great, but you got to see where you are. I mean, well before the trade deadline. I think you got to see come at the end of October. Where are we at the end of October? Are we okay? Everything growing well? We got some younger player or two that's coming in there. Now, if it's struggling, then you might have to take a crazy kind of
for sure. Definitely
maneuver.
like test the waters. If you're last in the league, then yeah, you probably got to make a move somewhere. I don't.
That's not expected though. They should not be anywhere close to last in the league. They should be up there.
That's
but if they are struggling, if they are struggling, they should definitely.
And they have so many star players. Like it's hard to say anything. Like I don't like. Obviously, I think it's gonna hurt in some sort of way. Just like especially on like who's gonna produce the most in the team. But they still had a lot of great players that have stepped up in certain moments of other injuries. Because I mean, obviously, it's not the first time Barkov's been injured, and you have Ekblad, who's very injury prone as well, and they play pretty fine without him as well. But yeah, definitely test the waters. I don't think you'd be able to get Malkin or Kirill. Especially not Kirill. He's pretty locked in where he is. Or is it Kirill? Is that what he meant? Maybe I'm thinking Kirill Kaprizov, but no. So I don't know. I'd say test the waters, and then looking at the market, it would probably be a bigger look into what you might possibly need to help you out there.
Now, if you're going to do a trade, you probably are looking at a guy in the final year of his contract that you're probably not going to bring back again. And that would obviously have to be a forward.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, obviously, definitely a forward. He says, I have faith in Anderson. To be honest, we've been grooming him for this possible scenario in case Alex gets injured. He also says we don't get Matthew Tkachuk until after the break.
Yeah, there's that too. Right.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean, I'm fine with, but that's just me.
Yeah. So they're going to struggle a little bit. But maybe you wait until, you're getting close to the deadline. But I think good teams make trades early when they have to.
Yeah.
Like if they realize that we got to make this trade, they just jump in early.
Yeah. I'd say definitely for Florida, they'd probably still be, I wouldn't say top 3, at least in their division, but I could definitely see them being probably a wild card competitor. If that would be probably in the middle line, if the Barkov injury really doesn't help them at all and they don't really recover from it. Obviously, again, then you make the moves towards it, which I think they would. Another one to mention, obviously not super big, but Jamie Benn is out with he literally has a collapsed lung, which is absolutely insane to think about. I don't think it's going to affect Dallas much. If anything, I kind of think Dallas has kind of already had their uphill. I think they're going to slowly start sinking a little bit. just like I don't really think anybody on their roster screams great other than Jason Robertson and then Jake Ottinger. So I feel like that's kind of like the two players carrying that team right now. Obviously, Jamie Benn, like he's a veteran player. Like I feel like it's very important to have that in your season. But I don't know. Like I feel like Dallas is going to struggle this year. I think they're
Well, there's also what's the Russian guy? I forget his name at the moment. Who had that? He had that awesome playoff run.
Ooh,
I forget this. Yeah, I got it. I mean, so much football going on right now.
I know. My
brain trying to talk about like Eastern Europeans. I don't know. It's easier to say Jones than like Korpatsev.
I'll look at it because I think once I see the email, it'll click to me.
But yeah, I mean, they've been pretty good the past 3 years. So.
Okay, let's see here. Anthony says, so you think it would be more likely Sydney over Malcolm if we get a hold of Pittsburgh? If you mean Sidney Crosby, he's not leaving Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't think Malkin will either. And again, like, what are the contract situations? Plus, I mean, you're looking for a center. So I don't that I mean, Sydney, sure, but I don't think those guys are going anywhere.
A lot of people say that Anton Lundell is a bit. I could kind of see that. I can. So I'm still trying to look at the freaking roster. No, I could definitely see that.
Baby Barkov sounds like a vodka shot, a miniature vodka shot. But Baby Barkov.
I don't know which Russian guy you're talking about.
Spasiba.
Was it a forward?
Yeah, I forget his name, but
Of course, freaking Mikko Rantanen's on there, which
Rantanen. That's why I was saying Russian.
No. The downfall of him will happen too because
I was saying Russian is definitely not.
Yeah, and he had a breakout year, but you know who was better? Logan Stankoven, who was the trade for it. So I could talk about that forever. Go to bed. Why are you? Most of Pittsburgh roster has no trade clauses. They will have to want to leave Pittsburgh, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I mean those two guys. I mean, I don't see any of that.
It's not going to bed. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
That does bring us to, I mean, what Matt brought up earlier was Fleury.
Oh, that is true.
Not that he's going to trade it or anything like that because he's retired. but I want to say, as a Caps fan, and who in that time span of those 20 years, so Theo Fleury, Fleury, Malkin, Crosby, and what's his face, the Letang. Okay. First of all, Payne's in my you-know-what for years and years and years. But those four guys are definitely I wish they all retired at the same time because they should all get into the Hall of Fame at the same time. Because I truly believe all four of those guys are Hall of Famers. Fleury's a great goalie. And watching what happened this weekend with him playing, and then after the game, Malkin goes out to the cars and sees that there's number 29 on all of their cars. So he was doing this practical joke where he put the number 29 on Malkin's car, Crosby's car, Letang's car as a practical joke. They were stickers or whatever. Right. But I mean, I just found that completely awesome that they do all that stuff to him. And then there's a really cute video during that game where they're playing Bon Jovi on the loud system, and Fleury's talking to someone near the bench, and all Fleury's four kids are just like, they're all playing guitar and all this stuff. They're just having a great time. So if you ever see that video, it's fun. And I hope the Penguins lose 82 games this season.
Okay, lots of soon-to-be options for Florida. A good topic for the show next week, and then, but realistically, if Pittsburgh is going to rebuild, I think
to stay there,
rebuild for Sydney or for Malkin to stay there and suffer through a rebuild, and maybe allow them to go to a team who's going to win. Okay, in the sense of that, Sydney and Malkin have already won a Stanley Cup, so I don't think it's necessarily going to be something
3.
Yeah. So
but I see where he's coming from. I know what Anthony's saying.
I mean, you obviously want to, I mean, because they're getting close to the end of their career. Like, you obviously want to end on good terms. Like, it'd be great to retire with a Stanley Cup, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be something that pushes them to want to get out of Pittsburgh. Like, I think a lot of, like, maybe like something bad, like if it's not going good with the coach or whatever, which I mean, they have a new coach this season too. We'll get into it, like, again, next season of like which team. And of course, he asked about this, who are your favorites and dark horses to win the Calder Cup. And we will definitely talk about that next week. We could obviously talk about it forever, but the show does kind of need to move on in a sense because we have talked about baseball and hockey for already over half.
I love hockey. But I just want to say what Anthony did say was, I mean, it makes sense. Like, it's hard to rebuild when you have 3 guys that are like 52 years old on your team.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to rebuild.
I like the vision that you have, Anthony, but I just couldn't tell you that it's going to happen. Like, I think it's a very, like, a slim shot. But I guess there is technically a shot, but you have to pray for a lot of different events to happen beforehand. Let's go by a quick Scooter, take it away with the Ryder Cup that happened.
Boy, wasn't that fun? It was actually an amazing Ryder Cup because, I mean, if you talk about golf, okay, the players and the playing and the golf hitting and the sticks and the clubs. I mean, it was really close at the end, but I mean, the Europeans took a huge lead on Friday. Saturday, I mean, they extended that thing like crazy. But then Team America comes back. I mean, they got that point to 2 points, and they were down by they were down by like 8 or 9 or 10, I think it was. But it was like it would have been one of the greatest comeback ever, and they got close. So there's that. I mean, there's some and here's the thing. And it wasn't like America was playing that poorly. It was that the Europeans were crushing it. Yeah. They were unbelievable. It was like watching the Dream Team with like Magic and Jordan. That's how good this is. The Dream Team of golf. I mean, those European players are unbelievable. And they came to play. They came to win. They came prepared. Now, of course, then there's the antics of the New York fans. But, you know, as they say, the Ryder Cup is not the Masters. In the Masters, you're not even allowed to bring in your cell phone. The Ryder Cup, they want fans to be loud. Not so obnoxious, but it gets that way. In Europe, stuff happens too. I mean, and then you do get players kind of getting on each other's cases. I mean, there was a few years ago where there was a parking lot incident after like a Saturday night between 2 players from both sides. And in fact, we saw Bryson DeChambeau and his caddy get into it was Aaron Scott's. Who am I trying to think? One of the European golfer, I can't get his name at the moment, was trying to line his putt up, and DeChambeau and his caddy come out there, and so the European golfer's like, guys, it's my shot. And then there was some talking to the point where they almost got into a little. It was almost fisticuff between holes. It was that bad, and it had nothing to do with the fans. It had everything to do with those players. That being said, there's a lot of fans that should never go to golfing events. Yeah, there's a lot of inappropriate chants. There was someone threw a beer. I know that, and that hit Rory McIlroy's wife. I mean, there's some really bad like that. You don't do that. Like, yell all you want. You know, you don't do that. And it was so that was kind of sad to see. But it was good to see European fans too. They got out there and they were doing their thing too. But they were really supporting their team, and that was good. I liked it all around. You know, a little better behavior on our fans. But other than that, it was a darn good weekend.
Yeah, Matthew kind of calls it out too. I didn't like the behavior. Boo Europe all you want. The crowd got personal. Throwing drinks at family members was disgusting. Typical New York fan behavior, which that part I can't agree with.
Now, I will say in most cases, it was there was a lot of anti-Rory going on. It wasn't like wherever Rory went, the obnoxious and that's not Roy's fault. It's not his fault at all. But wherever he went, that's where the crowds were the most vocal, as in inappropriately vocal. So, and to one point, his playing partner was so upset at one fan, he kind of started walking towards the fan. His caddy held him back, and they did get a PGA official or a golf official to go over there and get the heckler out. Got them removed, and then they did bring in a bunch of New York's finest for a little extra crowd control. So they were, if people were saying inappropriate stuff, the police were finding them, and they were telling those running the event to kick them out.
Right.
So the police couldn't. I mean, they weren't doing anything illegal, but the police were telling the event staff that person needs to go, or something will happen.
Anthony says, do you think Europe winning the Ryder Cup was a way for the PGA to stick it to the United States with how the current administration is treating every other country? I think that gets into a very iffy topic. I don't really know if it's anything crazy. I mean, obviously call it patriotism, but I don't really know how to explain that.
Yeah, I don't know either. All I can tell you is the PGA's down in, they're situated in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So
yeah,
I mean, it's not like, it's not like they're anti whatever. They're just they're an American organization. Now, sure, you could get you could try to do the live tour thing. There weren't a lot of live tour guys out there. Like Bryson was out there. Then you saw John Rahm, who was playing great. John Rahm was playing. I love John Rahm. So those are guys. Some of the guys. There were some live. Haddon. He's a European who's in live. So there were a few live golfers out there, but there weren't a lot. So if it's anything, it may be anti-live golf, but it still wasn't, because they had two of the best players in the world are live golfers, and some are missing too. There should have been other golfers out there that are on the live tour that were not playing in this.
Okay, let's okay. This is going back quick. All right, so let's go into the football. We'll go first with our college ball, kind of maybe do a little speed run of it, because there's still a bunch to talk about, which is great. And it's only going to get worse because hockey season is going to be starting up. You still have baseball playoffs, and then you're still going to have football. So this is going to be fun. We might have to find a different time to do all of this. Not my issue though. That's Matty Ice's issue for the ongoing. So obviously let's go into the college ball. So going into a couple of the upsets, an important one, we have Virginia upsetting number 8, Florida State. I don't really see it much as an upset. Obviously it is, because, unranked team beats a ranked team, but Florida State is still, I feel like, on the edge of being a good team. Obviously they've had their wins, and they're probably doing better, but obviously great for Virginia. Of course, that poor Virginia player almost got trampled. And I don't like that at all, but oh well. I
do like to apologize to any Cavalier fans out there that may have heard my comments over the past 2 weeks.
Oh no.
As me calling them not good or anything like that. No, they're good. So the Virginia Cavaliers are a good football team. And they should be ranked now. Maybe not highly, but they should definitely jump in.
Yeah, I think I put it in the conversations of next week because it is an interesting game. Arizona State upset 24 TCU. This is an interesting one. It's kind of like a small upset because Arizona State is still a pretty good team, but they did end up beating TCU. Some other interesting games we have 6 Oregon. They beat 3 Penn State, which, yes, I saw that coming, but also I didn't see that coming. I really thought Penn State was going to pull off that one. It's very interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's Oregon solidifying themselves as a top 3 right now.
Yeah, basically. 13 Ole Miss beat 4 LSU, which
that's a good game. That was a really fun game.
It was. And I think I remember saying last week, oh yeah, I could see Ole Miss. It would be I remember predicting it'd be a good game, but I still thought LSU was gonna pull up on top, and oh my gosh. Another popular talk to one, 17 Alabama beats 5 Georgia, and now you get to deal with miserable Alabama fans again. I'm kind of sad about this one. I really thought Georgia was going to win it. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't. And no dogs. No dogs.
I need the dogs. I don't want to roll Tide, okay? I just
Roll Tide.
Dogs. No Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. No dogs.
No.
Sorry, at least for this year.
A little smaller game, but 23 Illinois beats 21 Southern Cal. I kind of saw this coming. I don't know. I guess like any teams that aren't ranked in the top, obviously like they're still ranked, but like those games, I'm just like, okay, well that could have gone either way because they were only 2 apart from each other. I'm trying to think of what else to mention on here. Kent State was on bye week. We didn't talk about that, so they didn't have to struggle, but they do play number 5 Oklahoma next week, so that's going to be a fun one. What else did I put on here? NC State lost to Virginia Tech, so obviously I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah, they did.
That was absolutely terrible. We were close, and then no, we weren't.
And now Virginia Tech's getting all the crazy possible head coaches.
And now Virginia's getting all like this, all the hype too. So Virginia's got a lot of love this week. But I'm trying to think here. We'll go through some of the comments while we wrap it up. Well, there's this one that kind of talked about, did most of the great golfers go to the live tour? I wouldn't know that.
No, a lot of them did. Okay. But PGA has a lot of really great. I mean, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. I mean, they're all in the PGA is great. But if they were all together in one league, it would be dynamite. But the 2 weeks, that's okay. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. He also adds on here, can you guys explain and justify to me how the heck does the ESPN FBI rankings have Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss ahead of Miami because the Hurricanes didn't play this week? I mean, that kind of makes sense in a weird way. I think ESPN just obviously has favoritism towards Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss. I mean, meh. So I think they try hard. They try really hard to keep Georgia and Alabama in the rankings. I don't know if Miami didn't get fully kicked out because I think they're honestly still number 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're probably doing their ESPN ranking things.
Yeah.
ESPN always has to be different. The QBR.
Yeah. But like on the actual rankings, they're still number 3. Oregon's now number 2. And then obviously Ohio State. It goes 1 Ohio State, 2 Oregon, 3 Miami, 4 Ole Miss, 5 Oklahoma, 6 Texas A&M. And Penn State only drops to 7. And then, hello. Did I hit? I don't think I hit anything, did I? That's just him. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I'm back. It's anytime because I have to use my phone and I apologize. Anytime I get some call, it screws everything up.
Yeah. And then 8 Indiana, 9 Texas, 10 Alabama. So I mean, it's still kind of all in the same. But ESPN is always going to hype up Georgia and Alabama, and it doesn't mean that's great, but you just kind of have to get used to it in a way. Again, I repeat, is Florida State is a souped-up USF. They run the same exact scheme. The guy who is the coordinator and coach, there's a disciple of Gus. I mean, I would like to think that they're different. USF, I mean, obviously they had a great start, but and I think USF could definitely still make it work. But I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that.
USF, nowhere close to Southern Florida, but whatever. Call yourself whatever you want.
Separate. That's geography right there. Kirby has always struggled with Bama. Matthew going in with the Kent State game we were talking about, 84-0. I'm pretty sure Kent State's winning that, right?
They'll get a field goal.
Yeah, 84-3. Hype it up. Penn State doing Penn State things. And going on to it, ESPN just loves SEC. Florida State L this week didn't help ACC either. And then Ben joins in. Miami is 3. What are we doing here? I don't get the Miami hate. They are a good team. And yes, they didn't play, so maybe they should have dropped a little bit. But the U is back. Come on. It's fine. Everything's fine, guys. And they play Florida State next week. They're going to win. So, sorry. They're still going to be ranked, whether you like it or not. Sorry, that's aggressive. I don't know what I'm on today.
So my favorite thing is watching is in 2 weeks. This is going to be the game of the century.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Talk about
Yeah, it's Oregon and Indiana. Who had ever thought? But Indiana is going to Oregon, and it's two major Heisman contenders in that game. Fernando Mendoza, who actually he's dropped a little from the Heisman Trophy rankings because he only passed for like 200 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. So now he's 16 touchdowns and 1 interception this year. So now he dropped to 6 on the list. But Oregon's quarterback is right there. So this should be one heck of a matchup. I'm interested in that one. It's 2 weeks, so we have plenty of time to talk about that. But I wanted people to remember about this Heisman thing, that Mendoza, that guy's looking good.
Wait, so are Indiana and Oregon both on off weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, wow, you're predicting they're going to go undefeated this week. Who are they?
Yeah.
That's why.
I mean, I am. They're not going to lose.
Okay. Well, we will go into some of the week 6 or no, sorry. What week are we even on anymore? Oh my gosh. No, week 6. He's talking about week 7 though.
Yeah.
So we got Minnesota versus Ohio State. I put this as an interesting game just because I still think Minnesota is like a very good football program. I think it would be a close game, but I think Ohio State's still going to pull up on top. I don't really know when they're going to have like a very interesting. Of course, I thought like the game against Washington last week was a interesting rival, and it was a short score game. I think it was like only 24-6. So the defense was crazy on that game. But kind of probably the same for this game, probably with Ohio State versus Minnesota. Obviously 3 Miami versus 18 at Florida State. I think Miami's got that in the bag.
I like Miami.
Miami. Are you guys shocked? The media has always hated Miami since the 80s, since we beat down Notre Dame and the Blue Bloods. I don't know where. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just like more into it this season, but I still think, again, Miami is a good team. I'm not hating on it. I'm not shocked. I'm just like, I think they deserve to be ranked. And I'm sure other people still see that, but maybe there are some people who are still being delusional about it.
I can tell you, when I grew up, I don't know how many times that, there was a lot of love for Miami there. I don't know how many times that they put a Miami on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And they have some of the great ball players have come out of University of Miami. Yes, but if you look now, I mean, let's be honest, they haven't been anything really in 20 years. 24 years, something like that. They really haven't been that good in that time frame since the Coker days. That was the last time, and they were good under Coach Coker. But now they're getting it back. So it's going to take a little bit for a team that's struggled, if you will, for so many years, not getting the attention. That now that they're good, let's see. It's up to them to make get that attention on themselves. So they just got to keep winning games. They're gonna get that exposure.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Kent State versus 5 Oklahoma. We already talked about that. That's gonna be, that's gonna be something. I put this one as an interesting one: Mississippi State versus 6 Texas A&M, just because I think it gives off a little rivalry tension. Maybe I could see an upset with this. Because I think Mississippi State pulled off a win. I can't remember who against it was, but
Mississippi State they can pull it.
Yeah. This is also an interesting little rivalry: 16 Vandy versus 10 Alabama. Vandy is still ranked, and Georgia Tech is still ranked. By the way, I guess they are on the hot streak now.
Now here's that love of ESPN. I think they're going down to Alabama for that game. So that's where I think College Game Day is going to be there. So yes, they're back. Probably. But Vandy, good for Vandy. I keep saying, how does Vandy ever win? And here we go.
I mean, Vandy upset Alabama 2 years ago, so I'm kind of rooting for it to happen again. Because
go Vandy, Commodores.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple weeks ago, I mentioned that Ludacris was performing at a UNC game. I thought that was the one against UCF. I was wrong. This is the Ludacris game. Clemson versus UNC.
Clemson, USA. Okay.
UNC, Clemson, UNC.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to win this game, so I really
No, of course not.
But Ludacris will be there. Maybe I'll go see. I'm not going to go see Ludacris. Speaking of like performances, I highly doubt anybody on here is going to know who it is, but Bad Bunny is going to be your Super Bowl halftime show performer. For those that you do not know him, it's more so like a Latino rap artist. I don't listen to much of his music.
He was in Happy Gilmore too. He actually was good in Happy. He was good in Happy Gilmore too.
So if that's how you get about it, then yes, 100%. This is obviously having a couple mixed signals because Bad Bunny obviously is Latino. I'm not going to get into politically, but he has recently announced that he wasn't going to do any U.S. tours just because of the safety of his fans. So now that he's doing a Super Bowl, people are conflicted about that and not understanding how really it works. But if anything, it's going to be kind of the same thing with Kendrick Lamar. I can 100% guarantee you there's going to be a message in that Super Bowl performance. And so I'm just waiting for the absolute social media wars that will go on when the Super Bowl is going on, because there's going to be people upset about the Bad Bunny performance, and there already is. So this will be fun, but I support it. I love it.
As it always does at every halftime when I watch the Super Bowl, I will probably be doing like keg stands or something and not worrying about the halftime. That's just me. That's just me.
Well, obviously, like halftime commercial, like Super Bowl commercials, halftime show, it's very important, but it's not the most important thing. Obviously, the actual Super Bowl is mostly important, but I think it'll be very interesting. I usually try to listen to music before they perform, so I'm going to be listening to a bunch of Bad Bunny before the Super Bowl, so prepare for that. That kind of wraps it up on the college. So let's go into our football. We have a lot that happened. Thursday night football, the Seahawks beat the Cardinals. I saw that coming. I don't know who else saw that coming, but that is what occurred. The Seahawks are a great team, and I think because there's so many other great teams going on right now, I think the Seahawks are kind of like a little, not like an underdog, but like they are a team that is going to give you one hell of a fight. So I could definitely see them making it far. But I don't know. I kind of see like the Seahawks as like a little underdog because they're winning a lot, but they're not really being a high notice. They're just
they're finding their groove.
Yeah,
they did have a problem in the fourth quarter because they really did a great job of holding Kyler Murray. He looked horrible. And then all of a sudden he went off. It was like 10 minutes left in the game. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, they look pretty good. And Seattle looks horrible. So there was that, but they still won the game, so that's all that counts.
Yeah.
And the Cardinals, they need to get their rear end in gear because they're gonna get out of this race soon if this keeps up.
I see the Cardinals as a mid team. Like obviously, like they're good. It's still like kind of thing like you would pick them to beat bad teams and they would probably lose against good teams, but I see them just like being like straight up just like 8-8 or something, or 9 and whatever. See here, we had our Dublin game. The Steelers actually ended up beating Minnesota in Dublin, Ireland. What in the world? I think I had Minnesota winning that game. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, I think I had I definitely had Pittsburgh winning that game.
Oh, okay.
I figured the Irish crowd would side with the Roonies, but yeah, I mean Rodgers, that was a good game. They didn't play Jalen, and everyone's like, oh my God, they're gonna lose. So they did just fine with Kenneth Gainwell, who looks pretty good right now. So what's his name? Skylar Thompson, the backup quarterback for the Steelers. He was assaulted by an Irishman in Ireland. He hurt his hand a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a drunk Irishman? Or just
it was like Friday night.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
That's lovely. What?
Yeah.
Oh
So there's
my
that. So not all the fans are with the Steelers, but then again, they don't know who the Steelers are.
I have to put this because it's important. The Raiders lost to the Bears because the Bears blocked a possible winning field goal for the Raiders. So now I have that disappointment to think about awake at night.
Well, Geno Smith's been a disappointment since
Yeah.
It's just nothing's like. Although Max Crosby looks sick.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude, he did almost like whack a ball down and grab it for a touchdown too. So he was real close to doing that. But I mean, the Raiders very disappointing right now. They can get back, but it's trouble.
We're not going to get back because our next game is against the Colts.
I mean, the Colts are a good team. The Colts are a good team, and the Raiders still can be a good team. So they get this win.
I don't see it. Maybe because I'm still rooting for Indy, even though they lost to the Rams. Or sorry, no, yeah, they lost to the Rams. I was thinking about the Chargers. We'll talk about that game, obviously. But the Indies, their little streak did end. The Rams did end up beating them. It was a close game, though. It was super close.
One of the most annoying things happened in that game, which actually lost the game, if you will, for the Colts. Adonai, what's his name? I forget his last name, but he was going in for the touchdown, had a big, long touchdown, and then he goes and tries to do something with the football before he crosses the end zone. He drops the ball and it flies out of the end zone. Touchback.
What?
Yep. And then, this is, when Matt gets all mad about stuff, this is what gets me, is anytime, and it happens more often than not, some idiot player does that, drops a ball before he's in the end zone, celebrate, what kind of celebration, is that the ball drop before you score celebration? It's so ridiculously stupid. And then the announcers are all like, "Oh, he probably feels horrible. It's not like he was trying to sell. They he's such an intelligent guy. He just made a mistake. And all the players and coaches, they all come to give him a hug. Like his aunt just passed away or something. They're like, "Oh, we're with you, man." I'm waiting for that linebacker to get in that guy's face and go, "You just cost us the game, you stupid idiot. Hold on to the ball." And then celebrate it. In fact, you should never celebrate again. You lost your right. But no, they give them hugs and stuff like that. I mean, it's constant. So I mean, these guys have to learn that it's not like this guy's this great wide receiver either. Like Deshaun Jackson did that years ago. Everyone knew Deshaun Jackson's good. And I think it was his rookie year when he dropped the ball at the 1 yard line. He had this 80-yard catch against the Cowboys in Cowboy Land, and then drops the ball at the 1. I mean, but everyone knew Deshaun was going to be a good player. So, all right, he gets it. Yeah, Mitchell, thank you. Adonai Mitchell, thank you. Yeah, he ain't no Brian Mitchell, I'll tell you that. Grind my gears, thank you.
Yeah.
They're hugging him. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. No, you lost us the game, you fool. Someone's got it. Yeah, but it'll always be the same because they're teammates and they want to do that. I get it. They're buddies. But yeah, I got yelled at by teammates too if I did something stupid back when I was in high school, at least. So sometimes it takes a team.
Oh my gosh, I'm dead. Okay, well, moving on. The Giants beat the Chargers with Jackson Dart's debut, but at what cost?
Well, I mean, Neighbors went down. I mean, that stinks for Neighbors and the team. But they got Cam Scatterboo knocking down. He's a freaking bowling ball, knocking down pins all over the place. That guy is. I mean, he's made for New York. I mean, the ode to John Riggins with that 44 is also something to be loved and appreciated. And then Jackson Dart going in there. I mean, he only threw for 120 yards or something like that, but he led that team. He had 50, 60 rushing yards, and they got something. Okay, it stinks to lose, but they finally got their 4 really supposedly good defensive linemen. They played well.
Oh god.
So the team is actually. I thought they would win like 3 games this year, especially with Russell. I mean, come on. But putting Dart out there, it seems to work. But if you're going to lose neighbors, this is the time you do it early in the season. He's a second-year player. Get that thing done, and then next year they could have something.
Yeah. Is this like where the Chargers start choking? I know that's a running joke. But is this the Chargers choke, or is this just the team was better?
Yeah, I think the Chargers choked a little bit. They have offensive line issues right now. They got some injuries. Alt should be back with that ankle sprain, but it'd be nice to see Justin Herbert's such a great quarterback. Okay, when? Like, he's a good quarterback. I'm not knocking the guy, but they all put him up here on this Patrick Mahomes. At least they have up until this past year. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. Wasn't he the guy that was the quarterback that was winning 400-0 against the Jags and lost the game? I don't know. I think he was, but somehow he's a better quarterback than Joey Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence, the hair. Sorry. If you're from the '80s,
yeah,
you
there you
get
go.
the reference. But there I am.
maybe Maddie was still here. Speaking of the Jags and injuries, Jacksonville beat San Francisco. Good duel. I thought that was an interesting game. Not that I saw San Francisco was going to pull off the win, but obviously seeing Jacksonville win is oh my god, they kind of actually are a good team in a weird way. They're not great, but they're good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at it at all. I've been pro Duval this year. I think it's going to get in their new coach. I think it's going well. There's going to be a little obstacles in the beginning. I didn't think they were going to win this game because they were coming so far. Yeah, it was in the West Coast, so they go all the way out there. But I didn't. But I thought they'd play well, and not only did they play well, they won the game. But I don't know if you saw at the end. Cohen, the coach, he with Robert Saleh, he got into a little bit with Robert Saleh. First of all, don't mess with Robert Saleh. He's just gonna kill you. Okay, Robert Saleh can be a mean man, and he's big. But Saleh said these comments before the game, and then Cohen didn't take to them. So as the game ends, everyone goes hugs each other. So he walked by Saleh, and Saleh said something. No one knows what he said, but it looked like he maybe wanted to shake his hand, say something, and then Cohen walked right past him. He's just, you see his head go like this, no. So then Cohen walks a little farther back, and Saleh says something else. No one knows what it was. But then after 10 feet, Cohen turns back around. He has 2 guys holding him back, and he starts yelling back. So there was some post-game coaching stuff going on, which was pretty fun. That's always great. Love it.
Let's see here. What else do we have? Atlanta beat Washington. I don't know anymore what's going on. The football world is an interesting world that we live in.
So Atlanta, what they lose 30-0 to Carolina.
It was close. It was
they were horrible against, and then all of a sudden everybody scored for Atlanta against Washington. First of all, Washington's defense, I guess they didn't make the trip down. That was really bad. Way to tackle, fellas. When you tackle, you're supposed to actually tackle, not just shoulder them a little bit. So that would be nice to see some good tackles. But Atlanta played really well.
Sure. I think it was a pretty close game. I'm just shocked that Atlanta pulled off the win.
I am too. Again, if there's one that I thought that Washington,
they literally lost. They got blown out by Carolina last week, and you're going to tell me that they won against Washington?
Yeah.
But then
so Washington
the Raiders
has some work to do.
Yeah, seriously. I'm trying to imagine a whole chain in my head, because the Raiders lost to Washington, and Atlanta lost to Carolina. But now Atlanta beats Washington. It's just like, okay, what is the power train going on? But it probably means that the Raiders are on the bottom. So what else? Philly beat Tampa Bay. That was a pretty close game, pretty exciting.
It's a great game.
It was a great game. I kind of wish that Tampa Bay pulled off the win just so you could, stop hearing "Go Birds," but you cannot
Go
stop hearing the
Birds.
Go Birds. It's gonna be Go
I mean, it
Birds.
says "Go Birds" on my wrapper when I go to Wawa. It says "Go Birds." I'm like, what? I mean, I'm still going to eat the Wawa sandwich because it's good.
But you have to support something unfortunate.
It says "Go Birds" on it. It says "stupid little eagle" on it.
Yeah. Kansas City unfortunately beats Baltimore. I'm kind of worried about Baltimore this year. What is going on?
Now I am. Yeah, I know.
Like, because what? Is it 2-2?
Something like
2-2?
that. Yeah, well,
It might even be
they didn't play well yesterday.
No, they did not. It was terrible.
Now the Chiefs played really well.
Yeah, they did, unfortunately.
And since I was playing Patrick Mahomes in 3 out of 4 fantasy games yesterday, I'm surprised he didn't score 6 touchdowns. He only threw for 4. Very helpful to me. So I guess he's back.
Yeah, unfortunately. A weird game. The Packers and the Cowboys tied. Is something wrong with the Packers? Oh no.
Yeah, there could be.
Because I know they lost Belton, and obviously they don't have Love. I don't think, or no, who else? Yeah, no, it was Love. So Love and Belton are now out. So then, if that caused them to tie with the Cowboys, dear Lord, and it was an 80-point game. How does an 80-point game go into a tie? Like,
yeah.
What? Like, I'm just so confused. Like, I literally thought the Packers would get blown away with that, even though they very poorly lost to the Browns. So I thought oh yeah, they're just gonna revamp after this. Cowboys, take it away. Anybody who ever doubted them, regret it. And now I just doubt them even more because how do you tie to the Cowboys? I don't care. The Cowboys are not that great of a team. Yes,
Cowboy fans should be out there saying, "How about them?" Because how about that tie?
This is not something to be impressed. I mean, maybe I guess in a way.
Oh, if you're a Cowboy fan, you should be heavily happy about this one.
Yeah, you should be happy about a tie because again, a tie, and it's not a loss.
And Michael Parsons he had his fourth quarter and the overtime, he was good. Other than that, he wasn't very good. I guess he had 8 tackles. He had a sack. He had the only sack. Good job. Way to go. I think that's one less sack than he has in 4 games in the playoffs. But
did Lamb get injured in this game? That happened too, right? Or was that
no, that happened too. Yeah, it happened the last game.
Yeah, no. So I don't really know what to say about this anymore. It's just kind of I'm gonna try ignoring that game. Maybe the Packers fans are also trying to ignore that game. Ben helps me out. So Baltimore is 1-3. That's terrible. That's weird. Let's go into our Monday Night Football. We have
multiple games.
We had 2 games, but one of them is absolutely terrible because it's the Jets versus Miami. Neither team has gotten a win, so one team has got to win tonight. Who's it going to be? I couldn't tell you.
I don't know, but it's probably going to be 42-35.
I think I would.
It's probably going to be this great game.
Or maybe it's just a game based off of just field goals. It's gonna be a 12-9 game. Yeah. Just imagine it's just a game of field goals. I don't really know where this is gonna go. I want to say Miami's gonna win, but in a way, I know I was doubting you last week for saying the Jets were gonna get it, but I can kind of see the Jets now. I thought about it for a week. I can see the vision now. But I think it's just going to be a game to watch, just to be okay, who's actually going to win? Not because I'm rooting for any team, but just which team. This is really going to decide which team is the absolutely worst in the league right now. Because Houston.
Yeah, I don't think either of those 2 teams are the worst in the league right now. I thought Miami was in week 1.
Yeah,
record-wise, whatever, but they're.
I don't know. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
In a weird way, I think Miami's closer to being one of the worst teams in the league than the Jets are. I can't explain it, but
I get that.
it's just something I feel in a way. I will say, I think the Titans are probably the worst team in the league right now, with everything in front.
Yeah, they would be the worst team in the league right now.
Because I mean, they're now 0-4. Houston did end up winning that game like we predicted. But yeah, so this is a game of who's gonna win, and I'm not rooting for really any team, and I'm just gonna be like, if any team wins, and be like, okay, that makes sense. And
I want another tie.
Another tie would be hilarious. Like, oh my gosh. Especially if it's like I hope it's not another 80-point tie. That would be scary.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be great.
The more exciting Monday Night Football is Cincinnati versus Denver. I think Denver's got this. I don't know. Like Cincy again with the Burrow injury. I don't know. Well, no, did Cincy play? I don't even know. I don't think I put this in.
Yeah, they got killed last week.
Yeah, so they got killed. So, and I don't know how the little starting quarterback their backup quarterback went, but I don't think it's a.
Yeah, he didn't play well though.
It's not going good, so I would say Denver's got it.
Although I'll give it this: Browning probably needs a little time to get. So I'm not willing to write off Cincinnati just yet.
Yeah.
Because obviously he wasn't playing with the ones, so now he is. And so I think that there'll be I think receiving wise, it'll definitely be better. I think they're definitely going to score more than 3 points.
Oh, for sure. I could see this being like a mid-score game, like probably like 30, 40 points, I would think, for both the teams combined. But I think Denver's got it.
Yeah, well, I think Denver, this could be a showcase game for Denver because it's a Monday night game. True. And I like their offense, and their defense is pretty good too. So I think this is the game when people go, oh, okay, Denver's good. I think that's what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah. I know I shouldn't like Denver, but I kind of do. So yeah.
I mean, Knicks, I think I'll have one of those games. And you could see like Troy Franklin. I think you might see a lot of Knicks to Franklin tonight. So that would be my bet.
The Knicks hype is going to come back. The hype train.
Yeah.
Let's go into some of the week 5. We got a little bit more, but let's see here. Thursday night football: San Francisco versus the Rams. I think the Rams got that. To be honest,
good.
I did mention it. The Raiders versus the Colts. Unfortunately, I think the Colts do have that. I don't think the Raiders are going to win that. You can't hope. Hope is bad. Bad hope.
I got to go with Indy right now. They're the ones that are playing well. And again, they lost to the Rams, who are good, and it was close. So.
Like you lost to a good team. Like I'm not going to be upset about that. Obviously, like it was.
Just don't celebrate too early.
Sorry, my thing keeps cutting out. It's so bad. Indy lost to a good team. You can't be mad about that. Obviously, it's kind of fun supporting the Indy hype train, but I think they'll get back to pace. They'll beat the Raiders. They'll be fine. What else? The Bucks versus the Seahawks. This is one that's exciting. I think this will really test like my little hype about the Seahawks being an underdog. If the Seahawks can beat the Buccaneers, I think it's serious talk.
Yeah, I mean that should be a good game, and it's almost like, do the Bucks get a break here? Because they keep playing these good teams, and it's another physical game. And I mean, Baker Mayfield, he's taking grenades everywhere, but he's throwing them too.
I mean, their first loss was to Philly. That's a Super Bowl champion right there. So it's kind of like with the Colts. You can't be mad that they lost. Like so. If they get back on their feet, or if it really shows that the Seahawks they have their stuff together, I don't really know who's going to win this, to be honest.
I'd go with the Bucks on this one. They're just too good.
Yeah, I think I'm like secretly rooting for the Seahawks, but I could see the Bucks winning. I put this just down because it's kind of weird, but the Lions versus the Bengals. Obviously, I think the Lions should win that, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight.
Oh yeah, how tonight?
But the Lions look really good. So the Lions look like the Lions, which is weird to say because usually when the Lions look like the Lions, they give up 50. So.
Well, now they're putting up 50.
Yeah, it's a new Bobby Lane era Lions, so good for them.
We got the Chargers versus the Commies. Who do you think is going to win this?
Oh God, I don't know. Oh jeez. I mean, the Chargers, if they run and they don't get tackled,
Mm-hmm.
and Washington has the tackling problem, but Jaden's gonna be back, so that's gonna change things up. Not
Oh,
that Marcus Mariota was poor; he was actually played really well, and but getting Jaden back, that should do a little spark.
wait, does this go against your little Justin Herbert phenomenon? You're going to be like,
Well, if there's anyone through the past 25 years, I could say that would get Justin Herbert back in the mode, it would definitely be a Washington defense. So
okay.
there's always a chance that they just, he goes crazy. But hopefully they'll get back into doing what they're thing. I believe they will. I'd say right now it's a pick 'em, but I'd probably go with the Chargers right now. Just
Mhm.
right now. That could
Right
change.
now.
But Jaden Daniels coming in,
That
that's
helps.
nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would almost say give the Chargers, although I kind of want Washington to win just for the purposes of the league, or at least our division, because it is our rival. Obviously, I don't think the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders have a lot of work to do to get up, but which is weird because I'm rooting also for the Broncos, but then they're also probably closer to competition to us, and I can't explain it, okay? But I don't know. I kind of obviously wish for the Commies to pull it off, but it's one where I can be like, okay, the Chargers will probably win. I think it'll be a close game, though. I think it's going to be a little bit back and forth.
And it should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Monday Night Football, the Jags versus the Chiefs. Can the Jags do it? Can Duval do it?
Where's the game?
Oh, I think it might be in Kansas City. That might.
I don't even know if that matters so much. Probably Kansas City wins, but I bet it's going to be one heck of a ball game. Hopefully.
I want Jacksonville to win, though. I need to look where it's at. Hold on.
Well, right now I'll say KC, but I think if Jacksonville plays the way that they played against the 49ers and adds a little more to it, they could definitely beat the Chiefs. But if the Chiefs play the way that they play Baltimore, it's not going to be a contest per se.
Let me scroll here. No, they're in Jacksonville.
That's going to be helpful. That'll
Jacksonville.
definitely be helpful.
Please, please, please. Because then I can hate on, I mean, I don't like the Chiefs winning. But so I'm okay. I mean, I could honestly see this game going either way, but it is obvious where my bias is towards who I'm rooting for. So got that going for me. I'm trying to see like there was any other interesting games. I didn't really mention. I don't know, because none of these are like crazy. Yeah, they're kind of like. I mean, the 4-0 Bill. Wait, hold on. I believe the Bills are the only. Wait, no. The Bills and the Eagles are the only 4.
Yeah, there's 2 teams only, and it's only like week 4.
That's crazy. But the Bills play the Patriots, and then the Eagles play. Oh my gosh, the Eagles play the Broncos. So.
No, the Bills struggled against the Saints for a while.
Oh yeah.
And,
but I wouldn't be too worried about that.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's probably better for the Saints.
Well, because like it's weird because obviously the Saints aren't good stat wise, but like if you actually look at how they play, they're not terrible.
No, they haven't, and I thought they'd be the worst team in the league, and I don't believe they are.
Yeah, they're 0-4, but they're not the worst.
Yeah, I don't believe they're the worst team in the league.
Okay.
But I like Rattler. Hopefully, Rattler gets his chance. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I kind of hope he can pull it off.
The poor man's Patrick Mahomes.
Poor man, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, let's wrap it up with a little of Dancing with the Stars. I promise I'll make it quick. I tried to dial it down a little bit. I will go into our top players. Oh my gosh, our top dancers. Robert Irwin and Whitney Carson took first place. You had Whitney Levitt and Mark take second, and then unfortunately Hilaria Baldwin took third. So it was kind of weird because obviously you have your judges vote top score wise. For for those that care, I scored Robert a 7. I scored Whitney a 7.5, and I scored Hilaria a 6. I really didn't see that much improvement with her, but she's used to be a professional dancer, so whatever.
From Spain.
Yep, from Spain.
He was a professional dancer from Spain.
But so throughout the night, you're voting. The fans are voting. You can vote like a max of 10 times, kind of just like how any show goes with like The Voice or America's Got Talent. So this was a double elimination night. Obviously they say it's not based off of voting, but the bottom 3 teams where they were going through the elimination was Hilaria and Gleb, Corey Feldman and Jenna, and then Baron Davis and Britt. And Hilaria was unfortunately saved, meaning Baron Davis got eliminated. Which I'm kind of sad about, guys. His night 2 performance was actually super good. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up of what I actually scored him. But he was one of the last performances of the night. I scored him a 6, and all of the judges scored him a 6 too. But I thought it was great. It was a samba. So throughout the night, the female judge Carrie Ananabe, she gets judged a lot. She was hyping up everybody, every single dancer. She's like, "Oh my God, you did great, you did great!" And it was her first night back because she was sick last week. Baron Davis performs. She said, "I don't know if she's like, I don't know, that made me want to see you dance more," or something like that. Like she criticized him really, really bad, and obviously everybody was booing. So yeah, Baron Davis got eliminated, and I'm actually kind of sad about it. I didn't think I'd actually like him, but I did. And obviously knowing that Hilaria and Gleb was the other option that they could have gone with, the fact that Hilaria stayed over Baron Davis is actually kind of screwing me up. What in the world? Corey Feldman was the other eliminated. Now, Corey, obviously, like I talked about him, he's got a lot of history to him. Finding out over the past week that he's probably actually not really a good person, and it adds to a lot of controversy, and it has actually gotten to the show. So again, he was voted off. I saw video footage that basically after the cameras cut, he immediately walked off the stage and into the back. He was in backstage, didn't say goodbye to anybody, nobody, nothing. And even his partner Jenna posted this thing. It was like, "Corey, I know it was short, but it was great. You're, being nice." So Corey Feldman responded with an Instagram post, and I can pull it up real quick because it's really weird. But let's go here. Let's go here.
You mean Corey Feldman did something that's weird?
Yeah, can you believe it? So he posted this thing. It was a post of his girlfriend, and I'm gonna read you the caption here. This is in all caps, by the way. "What did I do after being thrown off Dancing with the Stars? Weeks of training? ? I'm going to Walt Disney World in Orlando with my..."
Probably.
Enjoy with love. I'm just like, what? Okay, thrown off is a crazy term. Crazy term. You got voted off. It's okay. The only thing I will say is I probably would have preferred Corey to get voted off before Andy Richter because Andy Richter is a great human being, but he's probably going to get voted off this week, which I'm trying to prepare myself for mentally. But yeah, that's a wrap up of the Dancing with the Stars. Absolutely crazy.
Well, as we're coming into October, now there's a great film that Corey Feldman's in called The Burbs, starring Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's a Joe Dante funny horror movie, so it's great. Trust me, if you've never seen it, see it. And Corey Feldman said he plays a little neighbor that's watching all the activity going on, and he's pretty funny in it. So
It's so weird because, like, obviously, like, I watched Corey Feldman, like, I've watched The Lost Boys, I watched The Goonies, but, like, I'll try to watch that for sure. But just, like, knowing now that he's not really a good person, it just makes me look at the movies that I've watched differently. So looking at that, I'm gonna be getting an ick. I'm like, oh God, ew, no, I know who you are. I know what type of person you are. Ugh. But no, so I believe that wraps it up. That was a long show, but we got through it. It's gonna probably get weird. Of course, we're avoiding that next week with our show at 8 p.m. instead of 5. Talking about all things hockey. I'm sure Matty Ice will sleep in a little bit of baseball, but it'll be a great show. You're getting all our thoughts, any underdogs, our predictions, anything to look into what's going to happen or what we think is going to happen at least. It'll be great. Obviously have more than just me, Scooter, and Maddie, I believe. I don't really know who's coming back just yet, but you please look out for it. Obviously, this week, tomorrow, we got Tuesday Night Flight. Wednesday, we got In the Passenger Seat with Jack Carr. I finally mastered this after 2 weeks. Thursday Night Throwdown. Friday, no show. Sorry. Saturday night. Nope, I didn't master it. Saturday Night Showdown. For the WrestleManiacs. But with that, this show, I will say, obviously, I'm sure Matty Ice will watch it later on. But gotta thank him for the opportunity for letting me host. Thank you, Scooter, for joining me for the past 3 weeks. I don't really know what I would have done without it, because talking by myself, I would just personally yap. So thank you for giving me company here.
You did great, Showtime. You did great.
I try, and it definitely helps a little bit. Just talking wise, because I'm not like, obviously I am into sports. It's very shown, hockey more so than anybody or anything. But learning more about trying to keep up with all of it. I don't know how Matty Ice does it or how anybody does it, but it's great. It's great. So with that, like they always say, hug your loved ones. You never know what day is guaranteed. Be safe, be smart, and with that, we must say ta-ta and see you later. Bye-bye. I forgot I have to hit the thing. Okay, bye-bye.